So it's another time. It's about that time for the one of the better segments we have, story showdown. Uh, this week we chose the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this concept is pretty much we take characters and put them in an alternate universe and pretty much explain the story of what's going on with them at the time. So you can start it off.
All right, so the show I chose to combine with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is Thundercats. So I called them the Teenage Mutant Thundercats, and this is how the story's about to go down. New York City was hit by a huge comet that landed in the middle of Manhattan. Inside were three teenage cats and a child that were not from this world, but another. Inside the comet were chemicals known as mutagen that allows the cats to obtain rapid growth while they stayed in chiral sleep. Majority of the chemicals were kept with the youngest cat, which helped with his rapid growth. Through a mutagen outburst from the landing, an earthling cat named Junga mutated through the chemicals and was amazed when he had seen the alien cats. Junga was no ordinary cat. His owner was a master of several forms of martial arts. Through observing his owner, he was able to train these four teenage cats on the way of the ninja. The cats who became the Teenage Mutant Thundercats. Leono. Oh, he's basically like Leonardo, and I can't say his name that right. It's hard to say it.
I don't even know why you even did all
Leono.
that. Pronounce the name.
Leono. Leono. That's how I'm trying to say it. Leono. The youngest of the cats, who is said to be the leader. He acts immature for his age. While in chiral sleep, the mutagen helped him age his body so that he would be able to defend himself while on his adventure to another world, and for the future he must face. Weapons is the dual blades of Sword of Omens, said to come from his planet Thundera. Only worthy of, he's the only one worthy of its power, and it's able to wield it. Tiangelo, the female noble cat who had also escaped the fate of the planet Thundera. She is a strong and independent female cat who seeks to keep her duty to protect Leono. I can't even fucking say his name. Leono. It's like a tongue twister.
This is just call him Leo. No.
Leo, because she believe it's the duty as a noble to protect her planet's future. During the mutation, she did not change much in age, as Leo was as Leo's caretaker. Ability is able to she's able to run at 120 miles per hour, and has cat-like senses that allows her to see through her opponent's movements. Her weapons are is called the Staff of Gold. This nunchuck staff allows her to shoot energy beams from within it and change in length. Tigratello, the vice captain of the Ninja Warriors, who is said to be the highly intelligent. He uses his mind and often science to take down his opponents. His motto is that the warrior is only as strong as his mind. Abilities is the master of the art of remaining in the shadows, master in tricking his opponents with magic illusions. Weapons carries a chain bolo whip and many strategic ways to take down his enemies. And then Panfael, the brute and reckless fighter in the crew, who tends to bump heads with Leo, Earthling ethics, Earthling ethics that he has gained from Master Junga. He believes to be a Thunderia warrior to the core and refuses to often use Master Junga's teachings. He sticks to the Thunderian way of combat. Weapon, he carries a baton that gives him the ability to shoot pellets that shoot out of his claws. Claws are on the sticks of his baton. And then Shredra is like the main villain. These four cats who were taught the ninja way are destined to protect the Earth from the same fate that planet Thundera faced by Lord Shudra, the man who feared death, so he has mastered the dark ancient magic to be immortal. He uses dark magic in order to get what he pleases. The next planet he desires is planet Earth. Abilities: dark sorcery. He can fly. He has super strength. His weapons is a metal claw and a sword hand. And this is how I think he would look right here.
Not much, man.
More so the way how he would look, I feel like it would be more so in the middle. I just wish it looked a little bit better.
Okay. I know you. Okay, I see you know. Okay. Thundercats, huh?
Yeah. I was dying. I was able to find half of these photos.
Nah, it'd be crazier to what niggas have thought of and made. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
actually crazy. What's it called? All right. Why'd you tell us Thundercats?
It's because when I was thinking of like a group of people, kind of like that kind of were similar to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was thinking of like animals,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing that came to my mind was Thundercats because I used to watch Thundercats a lot as a kid. So
Have you watched the recent series, right?
yeah, but I don't remember it too well.
I just rewatched it. It's actually really good. I'm actually just like surprised it got canceled. It was really good, dope animation, dope character arcs. It was. That's a good choice. It's a pretty good choice. Not bad.
Yeah, I was thinking like just by doing this shit alone, it made me want to watch it over.
Yeah.
Probably not the old version, but the new version.
Yeah, I don't really remember the old version like that. I think that was a little bit before our time.
Like I used to like go. I remember like after school, I would go home and I would watch that shit.
Yeah. I respect it. I respect it. All right, I just sent you mine. If you want to click on it and read through while I read it,
Uh,
let me know when you're on the page.
you sent it through email.
Yeah. I just replied to yours.
Uh,
Yeah, I went pretty basic, but it's still interesting theory, you know.
hmm
You on it?
hmm
All right. So this is the prologue. In the city of New Gotham, crime and violence has been running rampant ever since the legendary crime lord from Japan named Oroku Saki moved in his operation and created a new faction of the global organized crime ring called the Shadow Clan. Under the leadership of Oroku, Dr. Baxter Langstrom was tasked to use his knowledge of DNA and splicing technology to create super soldiers to fully take hold of the city and use it as their first U.S. stronghold. After successfully melding the animalistic traits of certain animals to his soldiers, they became apex predators with inhuman reflexes, stamina, and strength, but also affects their mental state heavily. Not fully understanding he was playing God, Langstrom's first test subject broke free after getting 3 times the doses of the mutagen and started retaliating against Oroku and the Shadow Clan. Realizing they were kidnapping and testing on kids, Subject Zero, which was the first subject that I'm talking about, went back and killed Langstrom and destroyed the lab, saving 4 children in the process. Vowing to make sure that he completely erases the Shadow Clan from the city, after stealing weapons and gear, he takes everything he learned under them and teaches it to the kids he saved so they can help the city and stop Oroku's plan of domination. This is the story of Ratman and the Shadow Shinobi.
I'm dead. That's a kind of fire.
Feel me? This is Ratman, which is obviously Master Splinter. And then we have the 4 Shinobi, the Shadow Shinobi, you know? So first off, Ratman, aka Hamato Yoshi, sent from Japan and being one of the top soldiers under the Shadow Clan. Oroku specifically asked for him to be one of the first to be tested on. Highly skilled master of ninjutsu, master of stealth, and with being injected with the mutagen, he gained a high intellect and a great keen sense of smell. And then we got the pictures of him. He's out here. Feel me? And then with all that he learned, he pretty much started teaching it to these four orphan brothers. The first one is Leonardo, aka Kappa. The names I chose for them are like spirits from Japanese culture, because the Ratman is Japanese, so of course he's gonna know about all that. And so I think Kappa is like the water spirit or something like that. That's why he wears blue.
Mm-hmm.
So being the oldest brother, he is the unofficial leader. He is the most skilled, the most serious, and the most spiritual, and also the most mature, and the most disciplined of the bunch. Realizing the gravity of the situation they're in, he tries to keep his brothers in check, and focus on their goal to stop in the Shadow Clan. We got you feel me? Picture of him. We got the katana. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So next we have Raphael, aka Raiki, which is like a fire spirit. That's why he wears red.
Mm-hmm.
Being the second oldest, Raphael butts heads with Leo, but also respects and loves all his brothers. He is a very hot-headed, temperamental, because of the torture that the Shadow Clan forced on him. Like, he was pretty much the most like the bad kid in that, where it was like he was the most resistant, like, you know what I mean? So they really tortured him, which kind of like fucked him up, which made him hard to trust people and shit.
Mm-hmm.
After that we have Michelangelo, aka Shijin, which is like a wind spirit. So being the youngest brother, Mikey doesn't take most things serious. Very kind, lighthearted, being influenced by like movies and television and shit. Because at the time, you can't just be all training all the time type shit. Even though he jokes around a lot when it comes to protecting the city and his family, he'll put his life on the line every single time. Like, he's just a noble person, like, you know what I mean? And he has, nunchaku, Donatello, aka Kameishi, which is like I think like an earth spirit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Being the middle child, Donnie is the genius of the group, building new gear and weapons for the team. Even though he is a master of ninjutsu and he has an Olympic level speed, agility, and strength, he prefers to solve his problems using his mind instead of his hands. He's a smart nigga, of course. He creates like the weapons for them. Like, okay, so then we have the main villain of the series, which is Oroku Saki, aka the Laughing Man. After he found out what happened to his facilities and being put under pressure by the overlords of the Shadow Clan, Oroku began to go crazy trying to replicate the formula the Doctor had created. After a battle between Ratman and the Shinobi left his face scarred, he rushed the production of a new formula created by an ex-worker of Ace Chemicals and ended up using the mutagen on himself, completely destroying his mental state and driving him insane. So we have the Laughing Man, you feel me? You see that? Nigga dripped out. You feel me? He's full on ready to go. Like,
where the hell did you get this photo?
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
So he started using the new mutagen on his foot soldiers, which created the smile soldiers. Yeah. So clearly you could tell the inspiration for this was Batman, obviously. I chose to focus it more on Batman / Splinter than like the four turtles, like, you know what I mean? Just because in the series without Splinter, it's kind of like there's no training for them. Like they need like the guiding force to kind of teach them. So the my mental state going through this is kind of like it's like Batman if he had all four Robins with him. You know what I mean? He's still training them and shit, but he still has like he definitely has that vengeance. Like he wants to get revenge and shit. But he's teaching them to be like, you don't have to murder people. Like don't cross that line. Obviously, like when it comes to that point. So yeah, I would. It is super basic, but I feel like it's still a cool premise, and it still kind of keeps the essence of the Ninja Turtles in a way because they're
Ah,
still
you did a pretty good job, bro.
they're
I like
still
the
ninjas and shit.
you gave like you gave the background knowledge of the story like a real consideration,
I
and then
had to.
you found like good like ways to like good photos of each characters. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I didn't. I was thinking like, do I want them to be animals? Or I was like, nah, I didn't want them to be animals. So I pretty much gave it like the mutagen. It gives people like enhanced strength, like animalistic traits and shit. Like you know what I mean? Instead of them being like turtles.
See, that's the thing. When I was doing it, I was like, all right, so like, how do I'm gonna mix these guys with turtles? I was like, you know, what, I'm just gonna make them some other type of animal, and then that's what I thought of Thundercats.
Yeah, I just went straight up like, let's just go human. This like it just if I because of course I'm not trying to be realistic, but at the same time it's kind of like if I'm missing it with Batman, how does that even work? If they're turtles, why would they need masks and shit like clothing and shit?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I kind of went through it. Like he's Batman, Ratman.
Mm-hmm.
He's teaching his four Shinobi, and the teenagers. Yeah, it's pretty much the same type of concept. And then my favorite part was, of course, doing the Joker Shredder combination. Like, it's just, it just, I feel like it just made sense for me. Um, yeah. What did you, so for the Thundercats, did you explain, like, did their planet exploded and they just came to Earth?
No, and so in this one, their planet's not gone in this one. Their planet's I didn't really went too in depth with it, but the planet got invaded by the main villain.
Okay, so they sent
Oh.
him away to Earth.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, it's more so like a
Superman
type thing, yeah, type beat where like Lionel is like basically sent to Manhattan to survive while while um while Ruma took over planet Thundera. So basically what he's doing is since he was like a little infant, they like I don't know if you remember, but because he was an infant, they
He's like a
gave him
prince. Like yeah, he's like the next up.
next up, yeah. So they basically like enhanced his body in a way where he grew up like mad quick, but he's not really like the age, like his image doesn't really match his age.
Yeah, and his mental state.
Yeah, yeah, his mental state. Yeah, that's why I said he was immature a little bit, but he's still the leader. Um, and basically, the main concept is them learning a new form of fighting, basically, a new way of living because they never been to any other planet other than where they originally were from.
So the
So that's
mutagen made the cat like anthropomorphic, like he could talk and shit now. Like how are they learning that the training?
So basically, Lionel is the youngest one, so like he's still young, but Junga, I guess, Junga. 'Cause the reason why they were sent there, it was an escape route. So they were already set up for heading to Earth. So they already had the knowledge of how to speak English and everything. And so Junga was a cat that was there. That what happened when the comet like thing spaceship landed
Yeah.
in. And basically through that like landing, some of the mutagen hit him like from the explosion. So that's how he became like a full on like ninja type cat like master. Like kind of like how Master Splinter, you know how like the mutagen just landed on him along with the turtles.
Yeah.
Same kind of concept. And then basically basically he decided to take them in because he knew that they were basically creatures from another planet and they were like teenagers. So like I'll just take care of them. But
Okay.
but what's different about it is that they're not like teenagers that didn't know how to fight. You know what I mean? They already had like their own way of fighting. It's just that like they had to find a new way of fighting because clearly what they learned didn't help when it came to fighting the villain. So that's why I called Panthro I forgot his name already. Panthro, the brute. Basically, he has that mindset of like, yo, I'm a fucking Thundercat. Like, I don't need to do this ninja way of fighting. But he was trained. But Master Junga basically trained him on how to be a ninja as well. But he refuses to actually use it because he's like, yo, like our way is better. You know what I mean? So he has like
That mentality.
that mentality. Yeah, that mentality. Like, yo, like we don't have to listen to these Earthlings. Like we're better than Earthlings. You know what I mean? And um, Leo being young, he can easily be influenced by Jungle, whereas all the other cats struggle because they're from a whole different culture. You know
Yeah,
what I
and they're
mean?
older. For sure.
Yeah, they're a
Yeah,
little.
the what's it called? I feel like the hardest part for me was trying to figure out like, cause they're superheroes to a degree. So I was
Yeah,
kind of figure out like power wise, cause the turtles they're just naturally great, but like they don't have like powers, superpowers, or anything like that.
yeah, yeah.
And they don't have like superhero names. So I had to think of. That's why I thought it would give a backstory on their superhero name and why they wear the colors they did by choosing spirits from Japan, because like uh Ratman originally came from Japan, so of course he would know all the ins and outs and shit, and he would still have like a thick ass accent, just like Splinter did and shit. But yeah, I like this shit. This shit is solid. So, which show would you rather watch?
Um, I'm more of a Gotham fan than like DC fan more than Thundercats fan. So I would definitely probably want to see yours.
Wow, I feel it. I feel it. You know, I could have went a little deeper too if I really wanted to when it came to like mushing the characters together like other villains and shit. But I just wanted to keep it light.
Basic, yeah. Even though it was basic, I could still see it be like a fire show. Like
Exactly. Still,
I never thought of like putting like the Ninja Turtles in Gotham and what would happen.
yeah, that's pretty much it. So who do you think won?
Um, I would say in terms of story, I think yours is better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in terms of like visuals and like
Creativity.
creativity, I think mine was better.
I agree. I agree. I agree, man. Uh, I do think the fighting scenes in my show will definitely be better than yours.
I mean, that's debatable.
I'm thinking, this is because there's also an element, the fact that they're human, they can do regular shit. Like with y'all niggas, y'all literally have to be training all day, like to a degree. Like y'all can't just go out, like you know, like with what I have, there's other elements you can add in, like finding a girlfriend, like teenager shit. Like
Hmm.
I feel like the only real teenager in that group is Lionel.
Yeah, yeah, he's more so the teenager.
So it's kind of like there's no there's no room for mistakes when it comes to the other three.
Yeah,
Like
because the other three, like they're like teenagers, but they're like on their way of becoming adults, basically. I would
so
say.
like yeah, I would if I had to put ages on these my Ninja Turtles, I'll put them 15, 16, like all of them 15, 16, like
Yeah, I would put mine's like 17 possibly up.
18.
Lionel is probably like I would probably say he's like 14.
I think um, my mine could be a little. No reason why I fuck with mine more too is because it's a darker aesthetic. Like they were tortured and shit. Like it's like a crime lord. Like you know, it's real dark, and I feel like it was a little more friendly.
On the light side.
Yeah, like I could see it being like a Nickelodeon show, mine more like a Cartoon Network show. Yeah.
I just want to know where you pulled out these photos from. Is this people drawing like the characters in human form?
Yeah, I just literally typed in the Ninja Turtles in human form. Pops up. But yeah, you just have to find the good ones.
I like the Donatello one the most.
Yeah, it was swaggy. But
Crazy.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then that same artist made the. Is that the same? Yeah.
Which one?
The first under Ratman.
No, that's a random picture.
They look similar to the ones that you put down there.
If you look closely, they look completely different. But, you know. And Ratman is like a manga. Like
Yeah, I never heard that before.
He's like it's like a superhero manga. It's like a kid.
It's kind of funny because the first thing I thought when I saw him was Power Rangers.
I know. I feel like I was like it was so hard for me to like not think of Power Rangers doing this one. So that's why I was like, all right, let me just go Batman. I feel like Power Rangers would have worked perfectly for Ninja Turtles. Like,
yeah, they definitely would.
That's so that bad. It's not that wrong.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes